Good morning. How you doing? What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing this Monday morning? Probably terrible. Everyone's like, ah, crap, it's Monday. Right? Like, ah, shit. Beginning of a week, it's school and work and bullshit. But, if you live in the United States of America, okay, this is a holiday week. This is a fun week, because this week is Thanksgiving on Thursday. Big holiday week here on my streams as well. There will be some fun festivities coming up, and I'm seriously, so anticipating it. I'm like, whoo, I can't wait. With all the stuff that I got lined up, Christmas decorations, they'll be on the streams, new overlays for Christmas, changing the color and everything of the overlays, and brand new, for the first time ever, elaborate, exciting, Christmas-themed animations. I'm very excited for these. I am. I actually saw these over a week ago. And I actually said this on Twitter last night. I said it's taking, every single piece of self-control and fiber of my being to not show these animations to you guys. I know the heated anticipation is building, because I turn on these animations usually either on Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving. And they run all the way through the month of December into usually early January. And then usually early January, I take down all the decorations and everything, and we get back into the normal swing of things. The cool thing is, as you can see, now even when it's not even a holiday, I will have things to decorate the office, which is nice to have a little background that everyone can look at when it's not just a holiday, right? And I will continue to do stuff like this over the course of 2022, adding new things while you guys suggest things and stuff like that. But for Christmas, it's going to be fun. We're going to have all this cool stuff behind me. And I seriously cannot wait. I'm a huge fan of the Christmas season. I love Christmas movies, Christmas music, food, everything. I really do. I love it. And I can't wait to start celebrating with you guys live on stream. I kind of jumped the gun a little bit, because as of yesterday, I announced that if we do hit the $100 tips goal on a stream, that one of the hats that's eligible to be worn is this Santa hat. And I know it's a little early, because it's not even Thanksgiving yet, but I said I will wear it early if you guys wanted. You guys didn't. You guys actually asked for this hat. The Punisher beanie. I wore this yesterday on the Guardian stream, which was fun. And so we will continue to do that. What I will do is routinely rotate and add different different hats to the rotation for the streams moving forward for variety's sake. Jasper, what did you just say? Jasper's looking out the office window. He's here today. He's able to join us for the stream if he wants to, as my wife is at work. And when he sees birds outside, sometimes he starts making that sound, almost sounds like he's calling to them. I think he just did that briefly, but then he stops and maybe the bird flew away. So, excuse me. As we get into the holiday swing of things, I'm excited for all of the new changes that will hit the stream later this week. All right, we have 2 more streaming days left this week, which is exciting because it's all good stuff. Continuing playthroughs and the like. Almost a couple concluding playthroughs, as we'll talk about in just a moment. In particular, today's Flight School, which a lot of people anticipate as the best part of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, because it is incredibly difficult. However, I don't want to get everyone's hopes up. And the reason I say that is, if you remember, I've done 2 playthroughs of San Andreas so far. The first playthrough was on PlayStation 2 way back in 2012. And when I played it on PlayStation 2 in 2012, I had my PS2 hooked up to my HD TV. Now, for those who don't know, if you have a standard definition console and you hook it up to an HD TV, it creates insane amounts of lag. Ridiculous amounts of lag. When you're trying to play the game, everything you do is monstrously delayed. So not only am I trying to drive through cities, doing these difficult missions, shooting enemies, and now I'm trying to fly planes and stuff with insane input lag. I remember this. People were hyping it up the whole time I was playing the game, and they were so anticipating Flight School, and I didn't know what I was in for. I remember one day, it was the middle of the summer. It was hot as balls. I had the air conditioner blasting. I'm sweating profusely because it's so hot in Connecticut. And I'm trying to do this Flight School. And it took me I remember correctly. I think I recorded like, I want to say I recorded like 4 to 5 hours in one block. And I think it took me like 4.5 hours to beat Flight School. Like it was, I failed that much, but I was like, listen, this is my crazy GTA marathon for the summer. I had already played GTA 3 and GTA Vice City. This was the third and final game in this marathon, and I was like, I got to get through it. I'm not going to quit now. I mean, how bad would it have been if after playing GTA for like a month and a half, I just threw in the towel and quit, right? So I said, all right, I'm going to hunker down. I'm going to beat this. And it was really, really, really annoying. I'm not going to lie. Like, I remember I was one of the most frustrating things I've probably done in the 13 years that I've created content. Because when that stuff is so, when that stuff is so delayed, good luck. That's all I have to say. I challenge you, if you want to challenge yourself, get a PS2, get a copy of San Andreas, hook it into your HD TV, and try to play that shit and see what happens. Okay? But I did do it. But man, and I remember the videos, people were laughing so hard at me. I mean, the videos, it was like 10 to 20 videos of it to beat it. And the videos, of course, had crazy views, and everyone went crazy for how hilarious it was to see me fail Flight School a million times. Okay? Now, years and years and years later, I want to say it was like 2-3 years ago probably, I played San Andreas a second time. This time around, I played the modernized HD versions that had been made for Xbox 360 and PS3, and I'm pretty sure I played the Xbox 360 version on my Xbox One. I think that's what we did. And I remember everyone again hyping up Flight School. Oh my God, Flight School is going to be so challenging. Phil's going to fail another million times. It's going to be 2012 all over again. And it wasn't. Like, I remember, I don't think I failed much at all. Most of the missions I beat on the first shot. It just wasn't a big deal. I remember beating it within 2 hours, like doing everything in Flight School and like all the Torino missions and everything was relatively coasted through. And people were disappointed. They were like, man, how did he do that so easily? And I explained to everyone, listen, Flight School, don't get me wrong, it's challenging, but if you're patient, you can do it relatively easily. The problem is the controls were so delayed. When you had delayed controls, that's what made it hard to begin with. You know, it was like the perfect recipe for disaster, that first playthrough. It really was. And so I coasted through it last time. Now, this time around, I'm doing it in the Definitive Edition Trilogy, okay? Few changes in this edition. First of all, there's unlimited draw distance, meaning when you're flying, you'll be able to see everything in the sky. Previously, there was always fog. There was always, draw distance limitations. This time around, now you just see everything. And so people are like, you just fly way out and see all of Las Venturas / Los Santos all in one go, and it looks weird. It definitely looks odd as hell to see it all from the sky because you never could do that previously. But now, supposedly, they have modernized the controls. All right? Now, I don't really know what that means. Like, there were flying missions in Grand Theft Auto 5, but it was so long ago since I played that game, I really don't remember, right? I don't remember the difference or what's going on in GTA 5. So, I'm thinking that this should be interesting to see what they've done with it, but I'm not expecting to fail that much. Like, I'll be honest with you. We just started the Torino missions, okay? I think I'm going to beat them all today. I think with our 3+ hours of gameplay today, I'm going to coast through the Torino missions. Maybe it'll take a couple hours, and then we'll probably get to Las Venturas, which is the equivalent of Las Vegas. We'll probably start those missions. I doubt we'll finish all that today, all right? But I think we'll get, we'll go over, we'll get a big chunk into the game. Now, the cool thing about that is, if everything goes according to plan, then what that might do is set up the conclusion of San Andreas for this coming Thursday on Thanksgiving. I might actually beat San Andreas on Thursday, unless we decide to extend the playthrough a bit. What we could do is some side content. For example, there is bike school, I guess. We could try to do some of the gang takeover stuff. There's the vigilante missions that I haven't even dabbled in yet. So there's other things that I can do, and I think you get trophies and rewards for doing them. If you guys wanted to see me do some of the more challenging stuff in the game, I'd be okay with that. But that's up to you guys. If you guys just want to see me coast through the end of the game, on Thanksgiving and wrap it up, and then maybe jump right into another GTA, we could do that too. That would really be up to what you guys want. So I would like to take in your feedback today, whether it's here on the pre-stream or while I'm playing the game during the gameplay portion of the stream, or, you know, over the course of the next couple of days. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to do a more extended playthrough where I really take my time and I try to do as much as I can in the game and get all the trophies and stuff? Or would you prefer for me to just coast through it? GTA Slayer says there's also freight missions, pimping missions, not to mention the taxi missions. There's a lot of stuff. What I would say is as long as it contributes to trophies and like 100% completion and stuff. I say trophies, but it's achievements. I'm playing it on Xbox Series X. As long as it contributes to that, that's what I would consider doing. I don't want to do every piece of content if it doesn't really add to like full completion. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we could do that, and that's up to you guys. Totally up to you. I'm in no rush. After this, I've got 2 other GTA games to play anyway. So you know what I mean? Like, there's no sense of urgency here. Like, oh my god, I've got to turbo through San Andreas or anything like that. So let's see what happens. Let's play the game. Let's see what happens. I'm curious to hear your feedback. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I'm excited. Today's gonna be a big day. I feel. At least to get through the Torino stuff and see where we end up by the end of today's stream, because that could actually help us plan out the rest of the week, including Thanksgiving's content. Okay. So anyway, guys, a few quick things before we get to the schedule for this week. I want to say thank you for a great streaming weekend. We are coming to the conclusion of several projects. We're going to be near the end of San Andreas, and we're near the end right now of Guardians of the Galaxy, which is great. Guardians has been a great game. I cried again yesterday playing it, and everyone made fun of me. You know what's funny is when I was playing Guardians last week, during that segment with the Drax, okay, and he has that very heartfelt conversation with Peter Quill about losing his family, and Peter talks about losing his mom, and Drax turns to Peter and he's like, I hope that your mother found heaven, and all that stuff, right? And I cried because it was actually such good writing and so heartfelt, and so it was beautiful, honestly. Like, the writer of that game is a really good writer, and it just touched me. I joked that, you know, I was a sissy and that people were going to make fun of me on the internet for this because I showed some human emotion. And everyone in the chat was like, oh, Phil, don't worry about it. It's 2021, man. Things are changed. It's not like it used to be. Everyone understands games are emotional now. They're works of art. You know, it's not a big deal. And then yesterday, I was actually just like browsing through YouTube and stuff, because as you know, now I approve YouTube comments. I do a bunch of stuff. And in my related videos, there are multiple videos of people making fun of me for crying during Guardians. Most people saying that I made it up. I wasn't really crying. It was all, you know, crocodile tears to try to somehow get sympathy from my audience. Yes, because when I'm crying playing Guardians of the Galaxy, immediately wallets open, right? Like, there was just, I was awash in cash donations because I cried playing Guardians of the Galaxy, right? So I just find it hilarious that I was joking and then people actually did it. And we're serious. It wasn't like, oh, here's a joking video about it. It was like, no, we really, exactly what Phil said would happen, happened. They have, you know what it is? They have no, like, self-awareness. Like, I literally say on the stream, morons will make videos about this, and then they actually did with no actual, like humor. It was just like, no, we're just going to do exactly as Phil says. Anyway, the Guardians playthrough has been great. We're now in the end game, so what I'm to understand, there's 3 to 4 hours left. I'd like to finish it tomorrow, but there's no guarantee that I will, because I don't know how long the final segments of it are and everything. So I'm excited to see how it all ends. I'm having a great time with it. And I hope that you guys will join me tomorrow for the probable conclusion. But, so that's wrapping up. San Andreas is wrapping up. It seems like we're heading into a new slew of gameplay. And, of course, as I've told you guys, I would definitely consider, I would definitely consider jumping right into another another Grand Theft Auto after San Andreas. It seems like that's what you guys want. I don't know if you want Vice City or you want GTA 3. That's up to you. But the other game that I'm going to be playing is Metroid Dread, because you guys have wanted it ever since it came out last month. You've wanted me to play it. At that point, I couldn't. Now things are calming down with releases. I finally can. In addition to that, it's a Game of the Year contender, and I feel like I'm missing out. Really, I've missed out on one of the best games of the year because I didn't play it, so I want to play it. So that's going to be next. It's going to be Metroid Dread and another GTA kind of balanced for a bit, and then we'll go from there. All right. One thing I want to talk about before we talk about the schedule for this week is last night. Last night I played King of Fighters 15, the beta that was live, and that was a very short beta. For a beta that they're supposed to be like testing and stuff, they only had it went live late Friday night. It only ran Saturday and Sunday. It closed 7 a.m. this morning. So it was like maybe a little over 48 hours. It wasn't a very long beta. I'm definitely glad I got to play it, because I played King of Fighters 14. That was many years ago, and quite frankly, I don't even remember it because it failed. It was a big flop. Sales-wise, it did poorly, and within a week and a half of the game being out, you couldn't even find anyone to play with online anymore. Like, I remember there was like 2-3 people. One of them, I think his name was Brand Geef, and there was like 2 or 3 others. And it was always the same people I was playing. It was like the same 10 people bought the game and were playing it, and no one else was. So, it was very disappointing, because I like King of Fighters. For those who don't know, I have background with King of Fighters. At the same time that I was in arcades in the 90s playing Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, there was also King of Fighters. King of Fighters was kind of like the alternate or alternative fighting game franchise, because it combined all the SNK fighting games, including Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting. Later on, it actually added in World Heroes and stuff like that. And it was entertaining as hell, because it had a lot of elements that were very different from other fighting games. Like, at first it was a sidestep mechanic, then they turned it into a rolling mechanic. A lot of the combo mechanics that we actually utilize in modern games came from King of Fighters, and people don't realize that. They think, oh, it's Street Fighter or whatever. Actually, Street Fighter was pretty much the most basic, but it was actually King of Fighters where a lot of combo mechanics came from. And a lot of super move mechanics. Because King of Fighters just doesn't have a super. It has, like, multiple levels of supers that you can do and activate at different times during fights. And King of Fighters really originated that. I really like that series. I always have. I played King of Fighters 94, 95, 96, and 97 in arcades. 98 never made it to American arcades where I lived, so I played it on consoles. And then later on PC, and then I played, like, 99 through 2001 and 2 on PC, because they weren't even available, like, on consoles at the time or anything here. Excuse me. Then I really didn't play it for a while. I know there were various iterations over the 2000s, and, I didn't really play it for a long time, and then 14 was the last one that I played. But I have a lot of history with King of Fighters. I know the lore of a lot of the characters. I know how their mechanics work, because I've played them over the years. I've seen characters like Kyo evolve from, like, a standard Ryu character into, like, a very different, varied character with mix-ups and combos and stuff. I really like the King of Fighters franchise. So I played the beta last night for 2 hours. Now, 2 hours is not a lot of time to try to soak up a franchise like that and understand it all. Within 2 hours, I went from basically only knowing the very basics of the game to kind of understanding the combat engine, which I like. I think the combat engine is a lot more basic and old school than a lot of modern fighters. Although, admittedly, what I did notice is that the game has modernized itself for a more open audience. It has auto combos, which I don't like. I don't like auto combos in fighting games. I think that they're a crutch for people who just don't want to put the time in to learn the game, and or people who have a shit-ass internet connection but can mash a button and get a combo. I don't like auto combos at all. I never have. And there was a bunch of people I was playing last night. Literally, they would dash up to you and go jab, 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 super move, and a combo. Like, what? That was never in King of Fighters, and they've added it. I believe people were saying it was in 14 as well, but they added it to make it like easy mode gameplay last night. And I didn't like that. But outside of that, the game seems great. And just with the fighters that they had available in the beta, it's good varied gameplay. You've got the Shoto-style characters who have Fireball, anti-air Shoryuken-style move, and combos. Then you have characters that are more hybrids. Grapplers, like Shermie. Seems like she's going to be a really good grappler. She's got both grabs as well as dash-up grabs, aerial anti-air grabs, and a grab that seems to be a counter move with super armor. So if you're trying to attack her, she could do it and blow through whatever move you're doing. And it seems like she has very high combo ability. So it seems to me like the game will definitely have a lot of variety in the gameplay style. Now, I've only seen like 8 fighters, so it'll be interesting to see the full cast and how different, the game opens up and everything. But I liked it. I thought the visuals were pretty good, except the backgrounds. Like, the characters themselves, the character models looked good. The backgrounds looked terrible. Like, there was a background supposed to be like an ultimate fighting ring. And you got these two guys who are big roided dudes, look like almost like pro wrestlers. They have like no definition on their bodies. They kind of look like Play-Doh characters, and they're like dancing around the background. And I was like, that's kind of distracting and annoying that it looks like they put all the effort into the character models, which is fine. That's what you need to put the effort into. But I was like, man, the background's there. I'm not feeling too positive about this. You know what I'm saying? In regards to like the world design, all of that, you know. But other than that, the gameplay mechanics seem good. You know, you got combos, 2-in-1 super cancels. Actually, what happened was after I finished playing, because I posted up on Twitter, oh, I'm playing King of Fighters, what happens is then Twitter starts posting up other things in your feed that are King of Fighters, and I watched 1 or 2 people who were playing the game, some videos they posted up, I saw Chris, like, I was doing really good playing with this character, Chris, and I saw someone else playing with Chris, and man, he's, like, way good. I was like, damn, like, seeing what this guy was capable of doing, his mix-ups and traps and lockdowns and stuff, I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to be doing that when the game really comes out. So anyway, I had a blast with it, all right, but I was a little concerned, and allow me to explain why. Attendance was not bad at all. I would say attendance was on par, if not even a little bit higher than what we'd usually see when I play Street Fighter on a weekly basis. But I was actually a little bit surprised because support was actually pretty bad. And what I mean by that is, you know, people come and they want to see me do a new fighting game. They've been asking me how long for like months. They say, Phil, I'm tired of Street Fighter. Will you play a different fighting game? Finally, I said, yes, I will. Let's check out King of Fighters. And the support was bad. It was slow. We didn't even hit the tier 1 tip skull. And it's concerning. It's concerning because, just so you guys know, fighting games are very much an investment of time. To get good at a fighting game to the level where you can put out entertaining content in it, you do need to sink a good amount of time into it. You basically have to take every character and put them into training mode, mess around with them a little bit to learn their basic combos and strategies. Usually, I like to play through the story mode of the game with each team and stuff like that to see the different endings. And then you go online, you play with these characters, you play various online. That's a lot of time and investment, as opposed to, oh, I'm going to play this video game. Go right into it and, you know, play through it 20 hours, you're done. With a fighting game, in 20 hours, it's like you're just getting started. Seriously, that's kind of the attitude. Like, wow, in 20 hours, maybe I've played with a few of the teams in the game, right? And I haven't really seen that much of the game yet. That's how it is. So, what I'm hoping is that people will understand that that's the case with fighting games. And if you want to see me play another fighter, like, I'm very excited. I want to play this game now. That beta, unlike when I played the Call of Duty Vanguard beta, which basically turned me completely off to the game. I don't even want to play it. This beta actually got me interested in King of Fighters again. I was like, wow, they did a good visual style. They made it full 3D. The gameplay elements are there. They're good. And I want to play this game. But I certainly hope that people are going to, you know, support another fighting game. People say to me, Phil, why do you play Street Fighter every week? Well, number one, it's because when I play Street Fighter every week, I feel nostalgic. It's like me being in arcades back in the day, playing old school Street Fighter, the same games I used to play, right? It's like I'm playing them again, and every Friday night it feels like I'm back in my teen days playing in arcades. It's really neat. Number two, because these games are ones that I played back in the day, I'm really good at them. So I'm able to actually get win streaks and do impressive things. People like that because really it's the only franchise that I'm very good at, okay? And number three, because people support it. Like, that's kind of the order of importance for me. Nostalgia, because I'm actually good at something. Support. Okay? But if any one of those three things ever failed me, I might not keep doing Street Fighter. You see what I'm saying? But people do. They come out to support. It's a great time. It's a nostalgic time. I do well. You see what I'm saying? It's a balance. It's very tough for me because my hobby is my job. And I would love to just sit here and play games I want to play all day long. And if that were the case, I can tell you right now, there'd be less new releases. I'd actually very, very stringently pick and choose the new releases that I play. I'd likely play a lot more RPGs because I really like RPGs and JRPGs in particular. I'd probably explore more indie games and not have to care about if people will show up and support them. I'm being honest, I probably would like to be more exposed to a more variety of games. Like a game like Hades, I should have played at launch. And here it is, I played it so much later, I loved it. But that's because of the nature of the beast, right? You see what I mean? Like, that's the nature of this business is, since this is my job as well as my hobby, I need to balance that, and I need to find that happy medium where you guys are happy, I'm happy, and I can make a living doing it. And that's challenging. It is. Last night I'm playing King of Fighters, and at first I sucked. I didn't know what I was doing. Then on the fly during it, I learned what I was doing, and I was actually doing really well. I started unlocking combos. I started doing a good job, really. I was like, wow, this is great. I'm kicking ass. And then the support just wasn't there, and it actually very greatly disappointed me. It did. I was like, this sucks. Because I really like this. I would like this game, and this is something I want to explore further. I want to try all the characters. I want to go back to it. And I was like, what happens if this game comes out in February and I get it, and, you know, if it's a flop on my streams? It's concerning, man. We'll see what happens. We will. The other thing is, you got to remember, this game is going to come out. This game is going to come out in February. Guess what else comes out in February? Sifu, Dying Light 2, Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring, right? So we're talking insane amount of interesting, high-profile games also coming out that I would have to balance with this game. It's going to be tough, I feel, you know? So, let's see what happens, okay? By the way, this is not me saying, oh, that I'm so angry and disappointed at you guys. I'm not. That's not the case. I'm making observations here, okay? And I want to play this game in February, but we're going to have to see what happens, you know? The other thing is, and this is the truth about a fighting game, if you do not play a fighting game at launch, if you decide to jump into a fighting game 2 months late, you might as well not play a fighting game at all. I actually mean that, too, at least from a competitive aspect. If you're 2 months behind everyone else and you're trying to learn the basics of a game while everyone else has already learned the meta, and they know the high-level strategies and everything, you're fucked. You need to be playing the game from the start in order to really know what you're doing. And basically what happens is everyone kind of learns together. You'll start seeing these strategies and combos with certain characters. You'll learn it all together on the fly, and then you can hang. But if you don't do that, if you skip it and you try to jump in months late, I'm telling you, it ain't happening, man. I know, because I've done it. I've been there, done that. It just doesn't work. You have to be playing it from, like, the start. So, there's a kitty behind me. So we'll have to see what happens, all right? For me, it was kind of like a bittersweet stream, because I saw the potential of this game being great. I thought the gameplay elements were good. I thought the graphics were good in regards to the character models. And then when there was no support, I was like, wow, that is really disheartening. I don't know what's going to happen, you see? We'll find out. Oh, Jasper, how dare you? You tried to steal my bottle cap. Look what he just went for. You are not allowed to steal my bottle cap. That is completely unacceptable kitty behavior. You hear me? You hear me? Do you understand? Do you? He's going to jump on the chair, and then he didn't. Okay. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Okay? Now let's talk about the schedule. Today, GTA San Andreas Definitive Edition, desert stuff, flight school. Let's see how this goes. I don't know how much time this is going to take. I think typically the desert missions take about 1 to 2 hours. Including flight school. I guess we'll see. Maybe I'll turbo through it. Maybe I won't. I don't really remember. I always forget this part. I know there's a jetpack, right? There's a jetpack, and there's zany stuff you do out here in the desert. The Torino missions. So, let's see how it goes. All right? Tonight, the late stream is the return of Lost Judgment. Okay? Very great game that I've been playing for over a month and a half, and I don't know if I'm ever going to beat it. The reason I say that is, right now I could just play through the story, and I'd probably beat it within a few streams. Honestly, like, I've heard that there's probably about maybe 10, 15 hours of story left tops. So I could probably beat it in like maybe 3 streams if I really wanted to focus on the story. But the game has so much fun and significant side content. And we've been trying to do the school missions. But there's 2 school missions that I've hit a wall. There's the Robotics Club and there's the Bikers Club, both of which require a lot of money. Because you need to buy components in order to upgrade your robots or upgrade your bike to do these races and or combat stages. And to get the money, well, you could very slowly grind it out, or you could get what's called VR passes to do the VR minigame in the game. Every time you do that, you get a ton of money, and you could just grind that for a little bit and get enough money to basically do everything in the game. That's what I'm trying to do, but it's actually time-consuming. It's actually time-consuming to get the VR passes. So it's been interesting because there's, like, story, a lot of grindy side content. Story, a lot of grindy side content. We've been going back and forth, but now we've definitely slowed down. We've slowed down with progress of the game. And I do feel like I want to beat this game sooner rather than later, because there's other RPGs to get to that people now want to see me do, and they've all been on hold, basically. So, we'll see what happens tonight. It's going to be a chill stream no matter what. It's always a chill time. I hope you'll join me tonight at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time for the continuation of Lost Judgment, okay? Tomorrow, probable conclusion of Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if we're going to beat it or not, but it's the probable conclusion. All right? We'll see what happens tomorrow, if I can beat it or not. If not, I might need one more short stream or whatever to wrap it up. And then tomorrow night, Forza Horizon 5, another chill stream. We'll be driving around. Last Forza stream actually was really good. The last Forza stream, instead of messing around with the online components and shit that were boring and didn't work, I just drove around and did random stuff. I unlocked entire new race types. I did a bunch of big stunts. We found barn cars. We did all this fun stuff. It was a really good stream last time. So I'm looking forward to Tuesday night a lot because it's very relaxing. That's a great way to end my consecutive streaming week, okay? Wednesday, I'm off from streaming. Thursday, when I come back, it's Thanksgiving. Now, because it's a national holiday, I'm only going to be doing one major stream. It's going to be San Andreas, and we're going to see if I beat the game then or not. If not, likely, it'll be a lot of fun stuff. Like, maybe I'll try to do some of the side stuff, like the vigilante missions and stuff like that. It all depends on what you guys want to see on Thanksgiving. I'm down for whatever you guys want, okay? It's going to be a normal stream, but I'm not doing a second stream on Thanksgiving. The reason being, because it's Thanksgiving. I want to celebrate the holiday with my family, and we're going to be having a nice big Thanksgiving meal, including turkey, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, rolls, stuffing, macaroni and cheese, and pumpkin pie and cranberry sauce. Yes, I'm going to be eating that much. So when I come back on Friday, because I won't be there for Thursday night also, I'm going to decorate the house for Christmas. I'm going to put up the Christmas stuff behind me on stream, and I'm going to initiate all the Christmas animations here on the stream. All right? So when I come back on Friday, I will be rolling into the office as a ginormous swollen walrus ball because I'm going to eat so much food. There's no way that I'm going to be normal sized. I'm just going to be insanely bloated, disgusting. Even worse so than right now my face looks like it's a stretched out water balloon or something. But then it's going to be like really disgusting. All right? I'm going to be real nasty looking on Friday, okay? Now, Friday's Black Friday. This is the day that infamously is the best and worst retail sales day in the year because that's the day when all the stores have their big sales. Everyone goes out to buy these sales. It's supposed to be that you're getting gifts for people, but in reality, people just buy for themselves because they're very greedy. And I'm very interested to see what's going to happen on Black Friday this year because there was no Black Friday last year because everything was either closed or limited open because of COVID. You see? This year's very different. Holy shit, what's going to happen? My wife works that day. I'm not allowing her to drive to and from work because it's too much of a risk. She even said to me, I'm really nervous about it. I said, don't worry about it. I'll drive you to and from work. You don't have to worry about it that day. I'll help you out. I'm okay with that. That's going to affect the streams. The first gameplay stream on Friday is going to be Halo Infinite. I'm going to do a major multiplayer stream. What I'll do is start it up, do some gameplay, and then around probably like 1 o'clock-ish, take a break to drive her to work. When I get back, then I'll keep playing until the usual time. Maybe even a little later, depending on how long that break is. So we'll see what happens, but it should be a fun multiplayer stream of Halo Infinite with a weird break in between for me to take Kat to work, okay? And then the late stream on Friday is my weekly Throwback Street Fighter session as usual. And then that stream will not be affected because Kat's going to get out around, I believe, around 10 p.m. And so because of that, I can stream, end my stream the usual time, get the uploads going, and then go over there and pick her up. And it shouldn't affect anything at all, okay? Then over the course of the weekend, all right? I can't tell you exactly what I'm doing this weekend yet because I really don't know because it really depends on what happens with these game playthroughs. I might have to do another session of Guardians to beat it. I might not. I might need another session of San Andreas to beat it. I might not. I won't know yet, okay? But what I can tell you is it'll be a balance between GTA and Guardians until Guardians is done. Once Guardians ends, then it's going to be the premiere of Metroid Dread. And it'll be GTA and Metroid Dread balanced as the main gameplay streams over the next week. Night streams are going to be alternations. It'll be Lost Judgment, Forza 5, Halo Infinite, kind of going in a loop, okay? My next day off is Wednesday of the next week. So that means I will be here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Although, like I said, Thanksgiving is technically a half day because I'm celebrating with my family. But I'm really excited. I mean this, really excited for the Christmas stuff. I think this year, you guys are going to love it. There's going to be new animations for every level of tipping except the like 420 and 666. I'll leave because those are special denominations of tips. But all other tip levels, the base level, $10, $20, $100, will all have new animations. I'll also leave the $50 because that one shows the gunner glasses. But those other levels will all have new animations. And then super chats too. I'll have like a base level super chat animation and then like higher ones, like 2 or 3 higher ones. So no matter how you contribute to the stream, unless it's a membership, that's not going to change. But all those contributions are going to have special holiday-themed animations, and they're all different. Yes, I have that many animations. I do. So, prepare to feast your eyes. First, feast your stomachs on Thanksgiving, then feast your eyes on my stream starting on Friday for the holiday goodness. Okay? It's pretty exciting. 672 said, I didn't know there was a 666 animation. There is. Almost no one uses it. I don't know why. I think it's the best animation I have. I really do. It's like me with my ass on fire. I don't know why people don't use it more. But they, you know, it's really good. Okay. Alright, so that's the deal, my friends. Outside of that, I want to talk about this again. The members' goal. Every day now I get people asking me about this. They're all confused. They're like, Phil, I thought you hit the members goal. I did. This is tier 2 members goal. Excuse me. We hit the 300 members goal the other day, which is I'm appreciative of that. It's great. It means we're definitely doing the Christmas event. By the way, if you haven't noticed, I haven't set up anything for the Christmas event yet. You guys are going to be able to nominate and vote on games, and it's going to be both everyone, the common viewers, and then also people who are members are both going to be able to do that. Jasper's going crazy. He's running up and down the hallway making noise. But I haven't set that up yet. Why? Because I figure, oh, I see. Carlton Jr. says, you know, we don't use it as a tip amount because the tips page doesn't have that as a highlighted amount. Oh, 666 he's talking about. All right, that's a good advice. I guess I could look into that. I'd have to go into the stream elements page and see the suggested amounts that they list there and see if I could set it up that there would be a suggested amount. I don't know. I don't know how many they allow you to list. I don't know if it's like limited or not. I think it is limited, the amount that you can list there. Hello, Nathan Smith. How you doing? Okay, anyway. So, the nominations process for games for the Christmas event will happen soon. Likely what I'll do is I'll set it up for the end of this week when the Christmas festivities start. I mean, why jump the gun? Jasper, are you okay? Jasper kitty. Jasper is way too excited. Are you all right? He's so excited. He's running back and forth through the hallway, and he just ran through my room, jumped up on the windowsill, slipped and fell into my trash can, jumped out of the trash can, and ran back into the hallway in pure embarrassment. So when he's this hyper, sometimes what he'll do, he'll run through the house, and he'll jump and try to hit all the light switches. It's hilarious. Like, if the light's on, he'll turn all the lights off in the house. He'll walk into the room like, why is it so dark in here? He flipped all the lights off. He's a nut. Anyway, he's okay. He's just overly hyper today. So, what was I saying? I got distracted. Hold on. Oh, so the nominations for the Christmas event will happen probably starting this weekend when all the Christmas festivities start. So that'll be exciting. I'm excited for that. Obviously, I want to see what guys you want to see me play, or what games you want to see me play during the Christmas Marathon event. I have no idea. So the Christmas Marathon event is already locked in. It's going to happen that week before Christmas. In fact, I'm curious the dates, because I haven't really looked into it yet. So Christmas this year is on a Saturday. Okay. That means Christmas Eve is on a Friday. So that means my Christmas Marathon event will likely either be Thursday or Friday. Of course, if I do it on Friday, Christmas Eve, that might limit the amount of people who can attend it, because a lot of people do holiday stuff with their families and friends on Christmas Eve. So I'm almost thinking maybe I should do it the 22nd or 23rd, Wednesday or Thursday of that week, so that way people can attend my Christmas event and then go have their own family festivities later on that week. Okay? So anyway, I'm going to do this marathon on one of those days. It's going to be the games that you guys nominate and vote on. At least 3 games, maybe more. But I'm only limiting it to 3 for now because there's other things that may or may not happen during this event. First of all, I dress up in holiday attire. I'm going to have Christmas sweaters or Christmas t-shirts, Christmas themed stuff on. I'm actually going to look for a Christmas themed vest. I have not had any time to look yet, but I'm going to look for one this week and see if I can find a Christmas themed vest. And if I can, awesome. I'm going to have a Christmas vest that I can actually wear during the month of December. Okay? In addition, I will be drinking. What will I be drinking? Holiday themed ales, lagers, all right? Perhaps a porter or a stout. I'll also be drinking eggnog, alcoholic eggnog, and maybe some hard liquor. One year I got this really good, it was holiday themed whiskey, and it was supposed to be, I forget what it was it apple? I want to say it was like apple cider flavored whiskey or something like that. Are you okay, Jasper? Jasper Kitty, are you all right? I know you took a little tumble there. He looks fine. He's laid down on the floor. I'm gonna make sure you're all right. Usually you don't fall like that. He's usually a very agile kitty. He's probably very embarrassed. All right, so I'll be drinking all day long. It should be fun because it's the only time of the year that I get shit-faced on stream. I used to do it all the time many years ago, not anymore. Okay, so that's gonna be going down. Okay, and then I'll be playing games, at least 3 games that you guys will nominate and vote on, maybe more. Now, this right here is the Tier 2 membership goal. All right, we already locked in. The holiday event is happening no matter what. Don't worry about that. What this is for some special rewards. If we hit 325 members by the end of this month, which now is 8 days left, okay, in November. Number 1, I'll be doing a live edition of Feasting with the King, where I'm going to be ordering out food from a local place that's a cuisine that normally I wouldn't eat. You know, I was thinking things like maybe I could do like Filipino cuisine or Thai cuisine or Vietnamese cuisine or Mexican cuisine. You know, I'm trying to think of things around here that are viable to do, and maybe barbecue cuisine. Order some barbecue food. Oh man, that's a good idea. But anyway, things that normally you wouldn't you wouldn't be able to see me eat or whatever, and trying out various dishes, having like this multiple course meal. People really seem to like this show, and I did Mediterranean cuisine last time. You guys absolutely loved it. Okay, so that's number 1. And in addition to that, if we hit this goal, a double reward, because the second half is a live DSP Tries It that's holiday themed. Last year, I did mince pies. I didn't even know what a mince pie was. I tried it. I was like, oh my God, this is fucking crazy good. So this year, what I'm going to do is go to my local stores. There's actually a few stores around here that have like products from all over the world. And I'm going to try to find something that's Christmas themed, a Christmas product from somewhere else that I'm not, familiar with, and try out something like that for DSP Tries It, okay? So I would absolutely love to do that for you guys, but we got to hit the Tier 2 members goal. We only need 27 more members. That's it. That's almost nothing. Right now on pre-stream, there's 387 people watching. 387 people. That means there's a good, 80-some people watching who are members. Why? Do you understand the benefits of being a member? Number 1, highlighted name in chat. Number 2, access to all my emotes. Number 3, don't have to abide by slow mode rules. Talk as much as you want. Number 4, a chat crown badge. That shows how long you've been a supporter. Number 5, priority access to special events. For example, the members are going to be able to nominate and vote on games for the Christmas event, and they're going to get a game in there. Just them, just the members get to get a game in there. And then on top of all of that, Ask the King, which I do every other month. You got priority to get your questions answered on that show as well. And that's just what for now. Moving forward, there's going to be even more benefits. For example, some people have expressed the desire for a members-only event for Halo Infinite. They said, would you set up an event where a fire team can be made out of members? And I was thinking about this. I was like, that could be a good idea. Maybe we could do like a members-only stream where if you're a member of the channel, you have a chance to play Halo Infinite with me. That would be cool. All right? So just based on that, seriously, what are you waiting for? By the way, it helps me in the channel, man. It's long-term support for the channel. I used to have over 800 plus subs on Twitch, and it helped tremendously. It really did. It was behind-the-scenes support, consistent support I could depend on every month. Now here on YouTube, it's fluctuating every month. I don't even know what to, I don't even know what I'm going to make every month. So please, consider becoming a member. It's going to help out tremendously, and I want to lock in those 2 special events for the Christmas event, if possible. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? I'm looking at all of you in the stream chat whose names are not members. Okay. So anyway, guys, that's the deal with that. All right. Outside of that, I really don't have much to talk about. There's nothing really going on gameplay news-wise. I've been looking around the net for gameplay news. Not much going on. Not surprising. The year's winding down, right? All the stuff that was going to be news already is news. There's really not going to be, I almost guarantee you there will not be any major or any announcements between now and the end of the year for games outside of the Game Awards, which are going to happen in early December. And then once the Game Awards are over, it's dead for a while. Well, you know, there's really not going to be much in that realm to talk about, I don't feel. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, the only gaming news that's going on is this fucking ongoing Activision Blizzard situation with Bobby Kotick, the CEO, coming out and saying, even though his employees want him to resign, even though the public wants him to resign, even though the investors in the company want him to resign, the company has a board of directors that are literally his friends. The board of directors of Activision Blizzard are his buddies from being a corporate leader, so they won't kick him out because they think that he's a good guy, even though he's the one that allowed all the toxic shit to happen in his company by being a lazy fuck. Just being honest, and by hiding that activity for the sake of profits. Okay? So basically, he refuses to step down, and now there's a story today. Oh, Bobby Kotick says he may consider stepping down if he can't find a way to quickly fix the problems with this company. Well, he's the problem. He literally is the problem personified. The issue that people have with Activision Blizzard is that all this bad stuff was happening, and the management knew about it and literally ignored it because they were making money. They didn't care. I don't care how my employees are treated as long as the profits are rolling in. People don't want that kind of a toxic leader at Activision Blizzard. He is the embodiment of the problem with the company, and he doesn't understand that. He's like, no, we'll solve the problems. But you're the problem. So the best way to solve the problem is to leave. But he's like, no, I'm going to stick here and solve the problem. You can't solve the problem when it's you. You know? And all that shows that he doesn't want to solve the problems. He wants to stay. He's a power. He's a megalomaniac. He's one of these people that feels he's above reproach and that he can change the whole company from the inside out. As I've already described, he's basically Papa John. Papa John was in charge of Papa John's Pizza. He was the CEO, the founder. But there were so many issues with the guy. Attitude issues, racist issues, things he would say and do to investors and on calls. People were like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? All he's supposed to be doing is selling pizzas, and he's saying the dumbest shit. Like, what is going on? So finally, they ousted him. They said, we can't put up with this anymore. You're going to make our whole company look terrible. And as soon as they did, the company's performance skyrocketed. It actually found out this was the guy who was holding back the company the whole time. All the things they've done have been successful since he left. The company is now doing better than ever. Okay? Which is hilarious because they keep interviewing him like once a year. And he's like, I've eaten 400 pizzas from Papa John since I stepped down. And let me tell you guys something. They're terrible. The pizzas are garbage. I had to say this. I've had Papa John's twice in the last year, and it's been better every time I got it. I'm serious. It's actually been much better. So, Bobby Kotick is essentially the same situation. He feels like he's the embodiment of Activision Blizzard, and without him, there is no Activision Blizzard. If anything, it just proves how out of touch he is with reality. He doesn't understand it's the employees under him that make Activision Blizzard. He thinks that he's like the reason for the success of the company, and he's so egotistical he won't leave. Even though everyone wants him to, he refuses. I mean, can you talk about someone who's more out of touch with gamers and the industry and everything? Like, he's an asshole, and people want him out of there, and he won't leave. So, I hate to say this, but this could be the beginning of the end for Activision Blizzard, because even if they keep pumping out great games, there is now always going to be, as long as he's in charge, there's always going to be this feeling of resentment, this feeling of, wow, even though I'm enjoying this game, it's kind of a dirty pleasure because I know that the company mistreats their employees and has had all these issues, and the management doesn't care and doesn't step down to fix, you know what I mean? You'll always have that. And, you know, earlier this year, people asked me, will you play Diablo 2 Resurrected or Remastered, whatever the fuck it is? And I was like, I don't know. And now I don't feel bad about not playing it. And I definitely don't feel bad about skipping Call of Duty Vanguard. And if you look at the other games, like what else is coming out from Activision Blizzard that I'm interested in? Nothing. So I don't have to play their games. I can literally say I ain't playing this shit. you know, and not feel bad about it. I mean, Overwatch 2 is a fucking disaster. Everyone who was in charge of the project quit the company. So now who even knows what the status of the game is? Same thing, they're making the new Diablo. That thing's on indefinite hiatus. No one knows how long it's going to take for them to make or release that. Like, the company's going to be in shambles pretty soon unless something happens. And that's a shame because they were one of the biggest companies, right? So I guess we'll see. But that's really the only gaming news. You know, not really much to say besides, wow, what a completely egotistical asshole who thinks he's the human embodiment of the company, and he cares so little about his own company that he refuses to step down despite everyone saying, you're the problem, leave. He doesn't care. Wow. Says something about a person, doesn't it? All right, anyway, let's get the shout-outs, my friends, shall we? All right. Oh, okay. I will say this, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, Project L, people keep asking me my opinion on it. All right, I'm going to be very honest with all of you. I abstain. I choose to abstain from having an opinion on Project L. I will tell you I'm not playing it, okay? And I'm going to be the bigger man here, all right? Because there's very big definitive reasons why I want nothing to do with that game. But I do feel that in the modern day, my takes on certain things are too spicy. Let's put it that way. My takes are controversial, right? When I open my mouth about something like this, people get upset with me. People get upset with the situation. And I personally just don't want to talk about it. Because I feel like if I actually gave you my concrete reasons, very good reasons, why I have absolutely no interest in that game and don't want to touch it with a 100-foot pole, people will be upset. I'm serious. It will start problems. It will start controversy. It will start problems. So rather than me saying, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to... Oh, by the way, people are saying, what is it? Project L is the League of Legends fighting game. Okay? Right now, the reason that it's getting a lot of hype is because that Arcane show just came out on Netflix, and everyone's saying it's like one of the best original Netflix shows ever made, and I guess it's one of the characters from League of Legends is the main character. I don't know nothing about League of Legends. I didn't watch Arcane. I don't really care about any of that. Okay? It's kind of like another world from anything that I'm interested in. Okay? But now, they you know, there was a big announcement. Oh, they're still working on this Project L game, and they showed gameplay, and there's an in-depth, you know, look into it or whatever. Says that people like spill the tea. See, that's the thing. I don't want to. I don't want to cause problems anymore. There was a time when I was a very outspoken individual, and I would come out and I would say, guys, blah, 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 here we go. And all of a sudden, oh my God, did you hear what Phil said about this and this? And it caused, you know, oh my God. I really don't want to do that anymore. I don't, you know, I'm 39 years old. I'm very happy with where I am, meaning I love my streams. I love having an audience here that chills with me and enjoys games on a daily basis. I like to avoid drama, and I know that the moment that I open my mouth about this game, why I don't want to play it, is going to cause drama. I'm serious. I just know it. It will open a can of worms that's been closed for a very long time. It'll open up Pandora's box. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Okay? Just being honest, you know, what's the point? Over what? Over a game that I have no interest in anyway? You know what I mean? Like, it would be one thing if this was like, oh my God, Phil is skipping Street Fighter 6. He's not even going to play Street Fighter 6 at all. Why? Then I would have to justify the reasons, all right? I don't feel like I even have to talk about justify reasons for a fucking game that is like way out here in left field and nothing really to do with the stuff that I'm interested in, right? I don't want to, I don't want to cause drama. I feel like I've grown up and I've matured enough, all right, that I've grown up and I've matured enough that I don't want to start problems anymore. You know what I mean? I just want to have chill times with you guys on stream. What I could do is I could give you a very generalized opinion, all right? Project L, here's my generalized opinion. There's 2 reasons why I don't want to play it. Actually, I take it back. There's 3 reasons. Number 1, Riot Games. Everyone knows the crap that's happened at that company. It's been in the news over the years. It's a similar situation to Activision Blizzard. But they never really solved their problems. They just brushed them under the rug and continued to make League of Legends. And because League of Legends is so popular, they got away with it, essentially, you know? People were just like, oh, well, League of Legends is so big, who cares about all their internal problems? Which is kind of fucked up, in my opinion. That's number 1. Number 2, it's a fighting game that looks like it's going to play like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And I hate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I actually think MVC3 was a horrible, horrible step in the wrong direction for fighting games. It became, the game is more about flashiness and high combos, and essentially a game that is is more about having it be viewer, entertaining for the viewers, rather than be a fun, competitive game. MVC3 at first looked like it was going to be good, and then when you were like 2-3 months into it and you realized that the game was just completely broken, every character had hit once, insta-kill. Like literally, get one hit, you killed the character. They can't survive. What? That's not a fighting game. That's a one-hit kill game. That's literally, there's no strategy. It's get the one hit, you win. Oh. Okay. What the fuck is that? And that's what the whole game was. But people liked how flashy the game was. People liked seeing the one-hit, ginormous combo. And then someone would say, oh yeah? X Factor, one-hit, ginormous combo. And that was the factor of the game that made it popular. Okay? But I hated it. Personally, I hated it, and a lot of people did. But it was funny. There was so much hype around MVC3 at the time that everyone would talk about how much they loved it or whatever. Now, 10 years later, people are like, yeah, it kind of sucked. It really did competitively. It wasn't a great game. And it's a shame that it got all the hype. Like, back then, it overshadowed all the other fighting games. Literally, MVC3 got all the hype at tournaments and everything. Because it was so flashy. Okay? But anyway, that being said, this game supposedly is supposed to be an assist-based, that kind of game. It's going to be assist, there's going to be combos, everything like that. It's like they're trying to remake that kind of game again. And that is the furthest from what I would want in a fighting game. And then on top of all of that, the third generalized reason, I'm not going to get specific, the people, I don't like or trust the people making the game. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not even going to elaborate further at all past that. I have personal issue with the people making the game. That has never been resolved over the years. I've never been satisfied with them, and I don't want to throw a dollar towards someone who I have issue with. And I don't want to elaborate. I refuse to elaborate, in fact. I won't even elaborate at all. Okay? Okay. That's that. So I'm really not interested in it. I'm not. People might be like, oh, it's the best game ever made. I really don't care. I just don't care because, to me, it's like, there's too many negatives. It'd be like, okay, the company, it sucks. The gameplay mechanics are bad, and I don't like that kind of gameplay mechanic in a fighting game, and the people making the game, I have issue with. Now I have to swallow all of that and forget all of that to try to get some enjoyment out of this game. By the way, I don't even care about League of Legends. I know nothing about it. So that factor is also, see what I mean? So, yeah, I'm just not going to... That's exactly right, Zen Shuriken. But the third issue is personal. The first issue is about the company as a whole. The third issue is a personal issue. And it's personal shit that it's so old that it's not worth drudging back up. From my days in the competitive Street Fighter community, some stuff that I saw go down in the competitive community that was very, very disturbing to me, to the point where I never got over it. I thought, wow, that's really fucked up. I really don't want to be a part of that community anymore. Things that directly I saw happen to myself and my friends in that community. And I was like, and they're never going to address this, huh? And they never did. And instead, they get more and more popular. They made more and more money. And people just kind of brushed all that terrible shit under the rug and acted like it never fucking happened. And I'm not okay with that. I'm just not. I'm not okay with that as a person, as a gamer, as someone who I was part of that grassroots community of Street Fighter, trying to keep Street Fighter alive when there was no sponsorship and there was no money behind it, and it was just people for the love of the game trying to keep it alive. And to see the things that I saw go down at tournaments, at events, behind the scenes of the big places, the big things that everyone said, they're such great people, and they did a great job keeping Street Fighter alive in the community and all that. And I saw some of the most fucked up stuff happen. Fucked up stuff. And never was there ever a resolution to every of it. It just acted like it never happened. And after that, it's like you leave such a bad taste in your mouth. Do I really want to reinvest myself and re-involve myself with certain people? And the answer is no. I feel like I've been separated from the competitive Street Fighter community for so long that I'm now my own person, my own entity. No one associates me with the FGC, right? No one would say Darkside Phil is a part of the FGC. I'm okay with that. I am, because for so long, I had issue with the FGC and the shit that I saw went down there. And I'm happy that I kind of separated myself from that. Because of the shit that went down behind the scenes that a lot of people don't even know about to this day. Let me put it this way. A lot of the people who I used to associate with in the fighting game community literally quit the community because of the shit that happened and didn't want to have anything to do with it anymore. There's a reason why the ton of people who I was playing with competitively all retired around the time when Street Fighter 4 became popular and certain people started getting rich, okay? People just couldn't take it anymore. They're like, nah, I'm done with that. That these people are the people who are getting rich and popular off of Street Fighter when the things that happened in the past are just unacceptable, okay? So, and I'm not going to get into specifics. I'm just telling you, like, I don't want to involve myself in that crap anymore. I don't. That's why people say, oh, you're ever going to get back into the competitive fighting game community? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe if there was a one-off tournament, if there was a one-off tournament or something like that, where, oh, we want Phil to come back and play Super Turbo just once in a tournament. Maybe some kind of a special invitational or something. Maybe I would consider it. But that's about it. No, I really don't want to get back into that shit. There was so much fucked up stuff that I saw go down at tournaments and stuff that, no, I would not even want to put myself back into that position or situation. Okay? So, that's why. Why associate and put myself back into a situation where I'm going to be supporting things or supporting people that I know that I don't want to because of the fucked up stuff that I've seen in the past that, again, has never been resolved. It's not like, oh, there was a resolution and there were apologies and things got better. It was just, oh, stuff never happened. Brush it under the rug. Oh, well. Move on. Forget. Oh, look, now these people are rich and prominent. Oh, that's great. Oh, what about the fucked up stuff that just happened? Oh, ignore that. It never happened. Oh, okay. Let's all act nice on Twitter. Because it is. That's what it is. Everyone in the FGC in the last 10, 15 years forgot the past, and everyone just kisses butt on Twitter now to try to get ahead. And I look at this shit, and I'm looking directly at people who are like, dude, you were completely and utterly mistreated by these people who you're kissing their butt. These people literally fucked you over, and you're kissing their butt. I mean, corruption at the highest level. And you're kissing their ass on Twitter in 2021 to get ahead for yourself, personal gain. And I look at that, I'm like, I just don't want to involve myself with it. That's it. That's why I'm glad. I'm glad I'm not part of the FGC. I'm glad I'm not part of the FGC. I just don't want to re-involve myself in that drama and bullshit anymore. I'm happy. I'm happy being me, being on my streams, having fun with a variety of games. You know what I'm saying? I heard Dart says you saw stuff, but you don't say anything. You didn't say anything because you were scared they would come after you. It's not that. It's back then. You have to understand something. Back then, when I was part of the competitive Street Fighter community, all right, there was a ton of stuff that happened, but it was all you had to be there. Nothing was documented. There weren't cameras everywhere. Half the gameplay wasn't recorded or shown. There was no live streams. You know what I'm saying? I personally saw corruption at the highest levels in the FGC, but I can't document any of it because nothing was recorded. All you have is hearsay. All you have is my word against theirs. And let me tell you something. All right? Today, you go to a tournament or whatever, and it's like you spend a ton of money or whatever to go there, but you get this experience, right? You get this experience. Wow, I'm at a giant tournament, and I'm here with a bunch of people. I'm exposed to this kind of competitive atmosphere, and you get this, it's almost like a convention you're at, right? It's that feeling like, wow, I went to like a fighting game con, and I played in a tournament, but also I got all this enjoyment out of it or whatever, okay? Back then, it was very different. Back then, it was like, you had to spend, by the way, there was no way, even if you won the tournament, there was no way you were breaking even. Whenever you went to one of these events, you were spending a ridiculous amount of time and money to go to a fighting game tournament. And if you show up, and basically there's corruption, there's mistreatment, there's unfair treatment, very preferential, favorable treatment to certain people, that's not fair. They always get the unfair advantage. It's pretty fucked up, because everyone spent the same money. Everyone worked their ass off and spent the same money to get there, and now one person gets a completely different experience than another. And let me tell you, it was very, very disheartening and disrespectful that I was working, part-time jobs. I was working fast food jobs. I was basically scraping by to raise money to go to a Street Fighter event. I travel across the country to go to the event, to show up and be completely mistreated. Completely, utterly mistreated. Like I'm a piece of scum. Like, who cares that you're even here? You know, who cares? You know, and again, I've talked about this over the years. I'm sure some people will hear me talking about this and piece together what I'm talking about. But basically, it was never, in my experience, it was never an equal playing field when it came to competitive Street Fighter. Especially when you were traveling across the country for big tournaments and stuff like that. I saw some pretty fucked up stuff go down, and basically the attitude was, oh well, either you accept it or just leave the community. No one cares about you. Oh. So I'm the guy who worked his ass off for a year to save up enough money to come to your event. I come to your event and you treat me like shit. And say, go home. We don't care about you. Oh, that's how I should be treated, huh? Wow, thanks. You know? And that's how, and it's not just me. This is me and all my group of players and friends who I hung out with and stuff. All feel the same. Many of them, after going to the big events and stuff and being mistreated, quit. They said, well, if this is really where it's going to be, or how it's going to be, then I don't even want to be a part of it, because that's the upper echelon of experience in Street Fighter, is to be mistreated, like treated like shit, and I wasted my time and money to even go, right? So, yeah, it's pretty messed up. That's how it ended up. When I was in the competitive Street Fighter community and I ran events, I did my absolute best to be accommodating to everyone, but I never gave preferential treatment. Not once. I said everyone's equal in my eyes. I don't care if you're a top player or you're Joe Nobody. It's your tournament. You're at my tournaments. You're treated the same. Everyone has to abide by the same rules. Everyone has to, and it was never like that in my experience when I went to tournaments that certain people ran. It was always the opposite. It was pure preference. It was pure priority. It was fucked up. It was. So, getting back to the subject at hand here, why the fuck would I want to purchase and play and support a game made by people who were really fucked up back in the day and then eventually became rich and profited off of the hype of Street Fighter, when in reality they were pretty nasty people? Okay? Right? Why would I support that? Why would I want those people to be successful? Right? Why would, so instead of standing here and saying, I'm going to now do a 2-hour rant video about everything wrong that ever happened in the FGC, and I'm going to tell you guys all this stuff, I'm going to blow it open, I'm going to cause a ton of drama, and now people from the FGC are going to have to come out and argue and dispute with what I said and blah, blah, blah. Instead, I'm going to say, no. I'm the bigger man, and I'm just going to say, no, I have no interest in Project L, and I'm not going to play it. There you go. Okay. Let's get the shout-outs. Kevin Bernstein started off today with a $2 super chat. I'm thankful for good DSP content. How about you? Oh, I'm grateful for DSP content. I love DSP content. I'm grateful for your support, Kevin. How about that? Thank you. Snow Cooper did a super chat and says, let's reach the goal. Happy Thanksgiving. My other account got banned after supporting the channel. No, your other account got banned because you were acting like a complete asshole. That's why your other account got banned. If you want your channel to grow, you need to relax. No, if I want my channel to grow, I need to cut the toxic out of it. Because there's people here who don't want to do that, to put up with that shit. And you were being toxic, and that's why you were banned. Now, I see you're back. I can give you another shot. But if you do it again, I'm just going to ban you again. It's that simple. Kevin did another super chat. He says, some people are just too blinded to see self as problem. I don't know what that means, but thank you, Kevin Bernstein. Oh, he's talking about Bobby Kotick, I bet. Okay, awesome. GTA Slayer became a channel member. Thank you for joining, GTA Slayer. I think we should be at $2.99. I'll have to confirm that, because we might have lost a few, and I didn't really check. In fact, you know what? Let's just quickly check. I already played the King of Fighters beta. It ended, Theo. You can watch the videos right now. They're live. It's 2 hours of gameplay from last night. Let's see how we're doing. We're still at 298. See, we gained one, but then we lost one, and now we're at 298 again. So there you go. Okay. Thank you, though. Thank you for joining GTA Slayer. And then Sunflower God is the latest super chatter talking about taking live resin hits for the boys on stream. You might not realize this. I already took a bunch. I already had like 7, 8 live resin hits right before we started. Of course. Everyone knows this. What the hell? I don't even know what you're talking about, but thanks for the super chat, Sunflower God. Now on to tips, if my mouse will work. We start off today with, it was GTA Slayer. Tipped me $4.20 before the stream had actually started, but I'll count it anyway. He says, Phil, hope you're doing well today. I'm showing some early support for your GTA stream. Interesting fact that people might not know. There's a hidden gang territory where the boat school is, but it's very difficult to get it. You know what's weird about that is I noticed, did you remember when I played last time, I was at boat school, the Ballers attacked me. I was like, what are Ballers doing out here? I was like flabbergasted. Like, what the fuck are they doing here? And come to find out, I think it's because, like you just said, there's a secret gang territory there that's not really factored into anything in the game. And the Ballers are there ready to shoot your ass. So, there you go. Thank you. Oops. Thank you for the first tip of the day. GTA Slayer. Rob on Wheels. Tip $4.20. I said, just caught up with Guardians. Holy flark. I was crying with you. I know, man. The game is so well written. It seriously is one of the best written games in years. It blows me away that that's what they put out when no one even knows the game is good because fucking they didn't advertise it. It's crazy. Thank you for the support, Rob. It's good to see you. Carlton Jr. tipped me $1.50. Said, as a longtime viewer, I feel like you get way too caught up in the idea that people want to see you play a game, especially a fighting game, win or be good. Pretty sure most people don't care if you're good at it. We're okay with seeing the learning process in real time. Well, here's the thing, Carlton. All right. There's definitely different folks who watch my content and have different opinions or whatever. Okay. And the thing is with a fighting game that there are people who maybe just want to see me get bodied constantly. Like, literally, they tune into the stream, they're like, cool, Phil lost 1,000,000 times. I could laugh at his misfortune and how much he sucks at this game, right? Did I spell this right? I don't know if I spelled it right or not. There we go. But then there's people who are like, okay, I want to see Phil, actually win. I want to see some wins. I want to see him actually have some good matches, close matches, dramatic matches. What's the point in me playing a fighting game if every single time I play it, I just get completely dominated and destroyed and never have a chance, right? Why am I playing it? The whole point of a fighting game in the long term here is to get good enough at it to at least have a chance to have some wins, right? Does anyone play to lose? Do you play to lose? I don't play to lose. I play to win. I'm not saying I have to be the best player. I'm not saying that I have to be winning tournaments, but at least I play to at least get some semblance of skill or knowledge of a game and try to at least succeed, right? Now, there's definitely some truth to the saying you have to learn to be a good loser before you can be a winner. That is absolutely 100% true. I can tell you from my competitive days. If you don't learn how to lose with dignity and then learn from your loss and then improve your game, you will never be a winner. No one just plays a game day one and knows everything and is dominant. Everyone has a learning process. Okay, we all learn at different paces, and we all have different levels of skill when it comes to execution. We all also have different levels of knowledge retention from previous games and also bringing in like muscle memory. There's all these factors. But there's absolutely no reason to be playing a competitive game online if you're not trying to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only example I would say where that's not the case, if you're just dicking around with your friends, okay, you and your friend want to play fighting games against each other and just fuck around. Or you want to play, we're in a fire team in Halo, we're just going to run around and shoot things and no one really cares what we do. That's different. But in general, the content I put out, you're looking to, for me to at least learn and know what I'm doing, right? And I'm not saying that you guys want me to become some kind of a high-level player. But at least you want to see me play a game with some knowledge of what of how to do a combo or how to do something, impressive, so that there's some entertainment factor there, right? Like right now, if I booted up Tekken 7, okay, I'm not kidding you, I would probably lose 90% of the time. I may eke out a win here or there with luck, because I just have a little bit of franchise knowledge with characters like Paul Phoenix or King or something like that. I may be able to okay, get a win here or there. But 9 times out of 10, I will lose because I've not played the game enough. I haven't played it in years, right? So what's the point? of me booting up the game at all, with now having the knowledge to win. You know what I'm saying? Now you say, oh, well, the fun of that is to see you play this game and lose a ton until you finally learn enough to get better. All right? Number one, that could be possible, but the problem is time. In a fighting game, you could take months to get to a level where you can hang. Do you want to see me play 2 hours of Tekken 3 times a week? Because that's what it would take. Every week for 4 months, losing all the matches till I finally get to a level where I at least can get a few wins. You know how many hours and hours of gameplay that is? How many people would be upset that I'm, number one, I'm playing that game that much, and number two, that I'm not playing other stuff. People like me as a variety streamer. You see? There's a difference between, okay, Phil plays Tekken once a week, 2 hours. All right? Okay, I could do that. Every Friday night, I could stop playing Street Fighter and play Tekken. And what would happen? I'd lose. I would never win a match. I might as well not play. If I played Tekken enough to get good at it, now it's too much of a time investment, and people will complain it takes too long. That's what people don't understand about fighting games. I'm being honest. They think that, like, oh, if you just play Tekken once a week for a couple hours, you'll just be able to hang and have, be beating people online. No, that's not how it is. Fighting games are not like that. Fighting games take a lot of time investment, a ton. I'm telling you. Whether it's grinding in arcades back in the 90s, whether it was playing on consoles like crazy in the 2000s, or whether it's playing online now, you know what I mean? It's always the same. It's grinding. It's literally grinding. You have to be ready to grind if you want to succeed in a fighting game. It's not just I sat down and played and magically I knew everything about the game. That's just not how it works. Okay? So, I hope you understand that. All right? And I understand, oh, people just don't need to see you win. No, they need to see me at least win at some point. You see? No one's going to turn it. This is the loser stream, where every week I play for 2 hours, I lose literally every match because everyone has so much knowledge that I don't, and they body me constantly. Wow, that's a great stream, isn't it? No. People want to see you get better and win. You can't do that playing 2 hours a week in a fighting game. You just can't. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me to expose everything in the FGC. Let's do this. Let's do dramatic. No. Fuck that. We're going to play some GTA. You guys ready? All right. Let's stop recording.